be very thankful to have such an eminent personality in the form of Mr. Anthony Prince to be part of this meeting and introducing and the first year students as such should be really lucky to have such a person greeting you from the start itself. Mr. Anthony Prince is a mechanical engineer by education, and he started his career as a marine engineer. He is the president and CEO of Smart Engineering and Design Solutions. It's a full-service ship design firm located in Kochi, India, and also it has got in Nassau and Bahamas, and GTR Campbell Marine Consultants Limited, Nassau, Bahamas, is an international marine consultancy firm. So he was internationally, was traveling in a lot of countries, and he returned in India in 2003 with history of making ship orders at Cochin Shipyard and Hindustan Shipyard, both successful projects. It has brought India to the world shipping map. So I know he'll be talking more about that, his achievements during the talk. And since 2007, Mr. Prince has been in India developing the ship design capability, having successfully developed and delivered several designs nationally and internationally. And if you look at the designs he has made and developed 10 new ship design concepts, and 3 of those designs has been selected as significant ship of the year by Royal Institute of Naval Architects, London, UK. And under his leadership, GTRC has delivered more than 100 ships to different owners in the past 18 years from shipyards in India, China, Korea, Singapore, and Spain. He has been instrumental in putting India on the world shipbuilding map by bringing the order of 6 30,000 bulk carriers of Korean design and equipment packages to Cochin Shipyard, etc. So the record delivery time which he has created, that has changed all the dimensions in the field of shipbuilding. Okay, and also he has been at the helm of various companies apart from Smart Design and Solutions. He has been the president and CEO of Algo Ship Designers, and also the president of GTR Campbell Marine Consultants in Bahamas, and also he was at the helm of Dogdell Farm Limited, Montreal, then Dockentel Holdings. He has been president as well as for quite some time, also in Canadian Algonquin Equipment Limited in Canada. Also, he was part of up to the president. He served up to the president of New Building GTR Campbell. So GTR Campbell Japan. He was the new building surveyor and started as new building surveyor, and he served up to president of GTR Campbell Limited Japan. So that is a profile of the person who is before you today. And more than all these things, Mr. Anthony Prince has been a great inspiration to all the alumni, TKM alumni across the globe. So with great pride and great happiness, let me welcome our beloved alumnus of 1968 batch, a true inspiration to all of us to deliver this motivational speech for our first year students. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Sudhir. The audio correct? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And it gives me great pleasure to be here today. A very good morning to all the students who are joining TKM today. Let me first thank the management and the faculty for giving me this opportunity to address the new students to my alma mater, Tangal Kunim Musliya College of Engineering. On behalf of more than 30,000 alumni and myself, let me extend a warm welcome to all the new students who are joining
Sir, your audio is breaking, sir.
Audio is breaking?
Yes, now it's okay. In
No, it's
between
okay. So probably I'll get
it
a
is
little
breaking.
closer.
Yes.
You have definitely chosen institution par excellence in engineering. And sure that the next 5 years, 4 or 5 years you're going to spend, you're definitely going to benefit this, the rich history. How many of
Sir, still audio is not clear.
you is
So
not
I think
clear?
is the internet connection okay, sir?
Could be possible. I'll let me.
In between, the sound is actually going. Video is okay. In between, the sound is getting faded away. Now I cannot hear you. Now also I cannot hear you, sir.
So let me switch.
Sir, can you use a headset?
No, I will use my phone. And this way. Give me a few minutes.
Yes, sir, please. Still we don't have audio, sir.
Hello, sir. I have given the
Sir,
consent to unmute. I have given the consent to unmute.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Now
Yes.
can you? Okay. I'll leave this and.
Sir, now, sir, please mute the other one, sir. The computer audio, because it is duplicating. Now it is clear. Hello, sir. Again, now it is. Yes. Now it is
Wait,
okay.
now it's okay.
Now it's perfect. Perfect,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Great. Okay. So, how many of you have researched about the institution before joining? If you have not done it, it's not too late. Please go ahead and research as you're gambling your life, your entire life on the education you will receive from this institution. Knowing the history, the faculty, the alumni, the facilities, etc., that will help you immensely in the coming 4 or 5 years. This will enable you to utilize the vast resources of the educational institution and thereby enriching you during this 4 or 5 years. In TKMC, everyone is treated with respect and love without any barriers of religion, caste, color, gender, etc. TKMC believes in the holistic development of a student and takes pride in their achievement. TKMC not only believes in academic excellence, but also excellence in extracurricular activities, sports, cultural activities, etc. Not only the excellent academic training I got, but also the organizational, communication, people, and skills that I obtained in TKMC helped me to propel me into what I am today. The sense of social service that is practiced by TKMC has given me and thousands of alumni a strong sense of social responsibility. TKMC, as you all will agree, is a very unique institution. It was established by late Janab Tangal Kunju Musliar, an internationally successful businessman, a pioneer, and a philanthropist. His generosity far exceeded his worldly wealth because he had a golden heart to serve and help others. One decision that he made to establish TKMC changed the life of more than 30,000 young men and women, and some of them have become most successful engineers of the world. Again, if you have not researched on our founder, please do. It will benefit you in future. The entire Musliar family, led by our trust chairman, Shah Hassan Musliar, trustees and management, are to be commended for carrying the torch lit by our founder so magnificently. Finally, research on alumni, the path they have taken, and where they have reached. Reaching out to some of them at an exceedingly early stage of your engineering education may save you a lot of heartbreaks later and help you to transform to a successful engineer. Why are you becoming an engineer? That's the question. Have you asked that question to yourself? How many have you made that decision by yourself? I'm sure many made such decision by the influence of their parents, their families, their teachers, and their friends. There are also some who made the decision with no valid explanation. Statistics show that more than 5% of the new entrants to engineering institutions drop out for a variety of reasons. You will agree most of it is because it was not their passion. So if this is not your passion, you have two options. One is to quit and chase your own passion, or the other is to create that passion now that you are already in it and pursue a career in engineering. It is not too late. Now let me try to create that passion to you. Just take a moment and try to understand what engineering is all about. Soon you will find nothing in this universe happens without engineering. From plowing a field to sending a person to the Mars, there's an engineer's hand. Engineering is the most creative subject where your world is infinite. Start looking at the engineering marvels of the world and you will definitely see there are so many creative engineers behind it. So even sky is not the limit for you. Inquisitiveness is an essential quality every engineering aspirant must have. You must be like a dry sponge absorbing water. Knowledge is the secret portion that drives you to excel. Such a habit creates passion in you, and that passion helps you to become a unique, creative, and successful engineer. Now you start to see the impact of engineering in the society. Anything and everything that is happening around us has an engineer's hand in it. So even by accident, you have selected engineering, you have landed in a safe zone. Now it is in your hand to make the best of the 4 to 5 years you will spend in TKMCE. Transformation. Today, you made the single most important decision in your life to embrace a career as an engineer. For the past 18 years, you were in a world protected by your parents and your grandparents in a school system with set syllabus, with teachers that taught you in subjects as per syllabus, and you wrote set examinations with set questions. Today, all of that changed. You left your safe haven, your home. You are without your parental umbrella, exposing you to the harsh weather. You have no support system because you left your friends and relatives. You are now expected to research yourself, come up with original ideas, come up with plans to study, and produce results unique to yourself. A mentally and physically challenging time. Don't despair. Help is around. Take a good look at people sitting around you. I'm sure during this COVID time that you don't have that privilege to gather together, but at least look at the screen and I'm sure you're seeing many new faces. Some of them are going to be your best friends, your mentors, your supporters, and your family for the rest of your life. Believe me, after 54 years of graduation and 59 years of meeting my friends, my classmates, they still remain my best friends at my age of 74. So go ahead and make friends because they'll be your lifeline the rest of your life. Choose your friends, friends that will support you and friends who will not be a burden to you. Friends that are honest, sincere, and helpful. Learn to say no. If many of the yes answers were no, many would have been saved from major problems in life. Build up that mental courage to pick and choose your friends and choose your future and not to be chosen by a wrong person. If I'm asked to point out the most important asset of TKMC, it will be undoubtedly the teachers. It is them who transforms us to tomorrow's engineers. The knowledge they impart and the guidance and affection they provide is priceless. After more than 50 years, I still remember my teachers and their classes. That was the tradition then, and I'm sure that has not changed even today, based on my interactions with several of your teachers who are teaching in TKMC today. So take full advantage of this incredibly unique treasure of our college, our teachers. You need a lot of physical and mental stamina during the next 4 or 5 years. Practice yoga religiously. Learn to swim. Participate in every type of sports. It builds up your health and teaches you to accept failures and success, which is an essential part of your entire professional life. Your ability to accept failures and your ability to the success. Participate in cultural activities because it is a cultural activity that makes us a whole person. Learn to lead and to be led, for there are no leaders without followers and no followers without the leader. If all these does not help you, then reach out for professional counseling. There is nothing shameful in it. Like physical illness, mental illness is also a condition of our body and our mind that must be attended to. Learn to manage your stress. Get help if required. Seek mentors and get guidance. As an employer, what I find in new graduates is their lack of teamwork. And there is no interest to check their work before they submit to their superiors. Before submitting any of your work, please check it, and please also get it checked by your friends, rather what we call peer review. Learn to work in teams, because when you get into your professional life, you have to work in a team. Unfortunately, the competitive system of grading a student has created a lot of what we call single taskers. They are good as a single person, but they are definitely not good in an organization. So please learn to work in a team. Academic life. On the first day, you are lost, confused, sad, depressed, with no appetite for anything. Do not worry. We all went through it. You will not believe how fast we recovered. Now, are you going to spend next 4 to 5 years in the college and the vast field of studies and come out successful? An overwhelming thought, quite natural. You are not alone. You have plenty of company. Now there are many tricks to overcome this. Setting a goal. A realistic goal is the first step, for which you definitely need to do a lot of soul searching about you and things that ignite the passion in you. I recommend all of you to read a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. It's written by Dr. Maxwell Maltz some 60 years ago, and it is still a bestseller. The book undoubtedly influenced my life, and I credit my success to having exposed to that book at a very early age of my engineering education. Psycho-cybernetic is, simply put, is an automatic goal-seeking mechanism. Provide you research and find out a realistic goal, you will automatically reach that. That is psycho-cybernetics. So I have advised this to many young people, including my 2 children, and all of them have become tremendously successful by setting a goal and reaching that goal. You can well imagine, without a goal post, and you are in a soccer field and you're kicking the ball 360 degrees around, but you are not scoring because there are no goal posts. So setting goal post is a very important aspect of your life. Planning. Planning is everything. Please plan all you have to accomplish and allocate time for all tasks and religiously follow the timetable. Learn to compartmentalize your thoughts. Focus on your task. Avoid grasshopper mind. Learn not to procrastinate. Maintain a diary and see how you spend a 24-hour day. That will awake you and let you know that you are not utilizing time properly. Learn time management. Being proactive and not reactive. If you look around, 9 out of 10 people will will be reactive and not proactive. If you are proactive, success is guaranteed. I built a phenomenally successful global engineering service company based on that single principle of being proactive. Today, my company is known as the proactive team. So be proactive. Quality. 100 minus 1 is equal to 0. So try to achieve perfection. Do not do 99% and think everything is okay. Multitasking. Multitasking is something that is essential in your academic, professional, and personal life. One of the things that I find in my new employees is that they are unable to do multitasking. Therefore, please learn to handle multiple tasks, multiple subjects by proper preparation and time allocation. Being creative. Think original. Think out of the box. Don't accept the status quo. Question everything. Be inquisitive. Train to think different. Learn to see when you look. Learn to hear when you listen. Never worry about failures. Failures are the herald of success. Think of King Bruce and the spider. Never give up. Team. Be the best team that be with the best team that motivates you. And if you cannot get into a best team, create your own best team. Avoid time stealers. Learn to say no. Presentation, organization, communication, and people skills. Along the way, you develop your academic skills. You have to develop your presentation skills. If you're not able to present your work, it's no use. Similarly, you have to develop good communication skills, and you have to develop good people skills and people organization skills. I myself benefited by being part of the student activities. I was asked to organize a symposium with 9 political leaders of Kerala, with the Undersecretary General of UN General Assembly as the moderator. And you can well imagine the effort I had to make to bring all these people into one table and deliver the symposium. It gave me great experience and confidence to organize and communicate with people of different stature. I got that training in TKM. I'm sure that you will get plenty of opportunities in TKMCE for participating in various extracurricular activities, as well as academic activities that will give you that confidence to go out and communicate. I think these are a few of the tricks to create that passion in engineering and overcoming the challenges to be an excellent engineer. Now, I'm sure that many of you will still have a question, how I'm going to be a successful engineer. I'm sure that that question is going in your mind, although it's a bit too early. Except for a few inventive and creative friends among you, most of you will end up taking up an employment. But before you take up any employment, please research the organization you're going to join and see how your predecessors who have joined that company have fared. and does that meet your requirements? Then go with all the passion to learn. And to give my example, that when I graduated in 1968, there were more than 60,000 unemployed engineers, because our policy to industrialize the nation changed to agriculture because of famine. After some research, I found out that mechanical engineers and electrical engineers have an opportunity to become marine engineers. However, in order to qualify, I had to get my syllabus and my course and my institution recognized by the Director General of Shipping. I approached the trust and the management, and they were more than helpful in inviting the DG Shipping to inspect the college and the academic curriculum and help to get the college recognized. Thereby, I could join marine engineering. I became a ship engineer and I went out to sea for 7 years. I was actually enamored. I fell in love with ships, because there is every kind of engineering in a ship. Mechanical engineering, marine engineering, electrical engineering, electronic engineering, structural engineering, sanitary engineering, you know, you name it, everything is there. And that passion developed to my love to do ship design. Started to think out of the box and started to think differently, started to question the status quo. And that led me to what I am today. So whatever job you are selecting, you approach it with all the passion, all the commitment, and I'm sure that will take you to be a successful engineer. But you really have to make your goals. You have to set your goals and you will reach your goals. So you have to plan your career once you graduate and have that followed religiously. I'm sure success is guaranteed for you. And I'm sure that as life goes by, you will find a life partner. Make sure that your passion is shared by that partner and you share that partner's passion, so that the two of you together will become a successful couple, communicating, supporting each other. So these are few things I wanted to tell you. I'm sure that you'll have many questions as you go by, as the years go by, as the time goes by. And please seek out to your professors and your teachers and the alumni if you require any kind of advice or mentorship. I would like to conclude by giving you two important things in the life of an engineer. That is ethics and social responsibility. I can see most of you instantly reminded of the Palarivittam overbridge. And whatever is the real reason, everybody knows there was a lack of professionalism, there is a lack of ethics, and there's a lack of social responsibility. Sound engineering is the foundation of any project. So an engineer has to approach any project with a sound knowledge of engineering and applying the principles that he has learned. He has to do the best design, the best engineering. But that alone is not enough. As we know, ethics plays a big part in a professional's life. It's an unavoidable and essential quality. Unless we practice it from a very young age, as a young engineering student, we will never practice it as a professional engineer. No cheating, no stealing, no copying, no borrowing someone else's idea, no plagiarism. Even if it is only a term paper or an assignment, it should never happen. In most countries, there is a subject on ethics for engineers, doctors, lawyers, and accountants. I'm sure that you will also have some training, some guidance in ethics as you go by before you graduate. So remember, ethical behavior is a core quality of an engineer. Social responsibility. Engineers probably carry the biggest burden of social responsibility because there are no areas where an engineer's involvement is not there. To give back to the society is the basic duty of every person. And I sincerely hope not only you will give back to the society, but also to the alma mater. For your information, with strong support and initiative of the management and the faculty, the alumni has set up an endowment fund to establish 5 research labs, a lab in robotics and artificial intelligence, 1 lab in energy research, 1 lab in central research, 1 lab in resilient infrastructure and disaster management, and 1 lab for startups. This is the endeavor of the alumni. I hope all of you will benefit by using these labs as part of your academic career in our college. On the note of social responsibility, although settled abroad very successfully and in a beautiful country called the Bahamas, which is known as the paradise on earth, in 2003, I got an SOS call from Cochin to tell me that the Cochin shipyard will be closed very soon. If I can, I should help. And I thought that the sin of omission is the biggest sin. Having all the knowledge to help the shipyard, I should not be lying on the beach and enjoying myself. So I packed my bag and came to Cochin. I was told by everyone that I will be physically harmed, I will be hurt, I will be a big failure because there are 8 unions and nothing works in Kerala, a Kerala that cannot. But having studied the illness of the shipyard, I understood I had the right medicines to put things right. When I came, the shipyard had only delivered 13 ships in 31 years. And I had asked them to build 6 ships in 3.5 years. Everybody laughed and called me crazy. To cut the story short, those 6 ships were built in excellent quality in 3 years and 2 months, even breaking my target. And in the last 17 years, the shipyard has delivered more than 100 ships. And yesterday was the steel cutting of 8 anti-submarine warfare, shallow draft corvettes that are designed by my company in Kochi, where more than 100 design engineers are working. It is the first indigenously designed naval platform. So you can very well understand, sky's the limit for you. Dream big and plan well, you will reach there. So I sincerely wish each and every one of you a very happy period during your studies at TKM College. I wish you safety. I wish you good health. And I wish each one of you become a successful engineer and a significant engineer who's useful to the society and to yourself. I'll be very happy to take some questions from you if you have, if anyone would like to ask me. Thank you very much.
So, my dear students, you can unmute yourselves right now and you can talk to Antony Prince, sir.
Sir, in fact, a wonderful session. You have explained the way you have come up, and it is truly inspiring and motivating for all the students who are present here. And so wonderful to hear from you, sir. And I'm sure that all the first year students will really benefit, and the way you have built up your career will be really motivating to all of you, all of the students. And there'll be a lot of questions from the student side, and I would like to make, because some of the parents also will be attending the meeting along with the students being the first. So it can be even formal, no need to be in particular in English. If any of the students have got their queries in mind, I know you have to develop the English language on the new course, even if you are not so familiar with that. But still, if, to be frank and to be to the core, to the point, you can be even speaking in Malayalam language. It's absolutely no problem. So please feel free to open up and ask the questions. Let it be a fruitful discussion. Because you have an entrepreneur in front of you who is having a design company, housing so many engineers, and it is spreading all across the world. It has got branches and a lot of companies are so it's a big opportunity for you to interact with such a great person. So please make use of that. So I request the students to interact, please.
Thank you, Sudhir. Yeah, if you have, I would be very happy to talk to any of the parents who have concerns. Also, I'll be happy to talk to any of the students. Malayalam is fine.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please identify.
I am Mikhail.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Mikhail.
Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear
Yes,
you,
please, please unmute your video also, so that maybe we will be able to see you.
Yes.
Let me. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes. Hi, Mikhail.
You're both
Great.
visible and audible.
Please.
Sir, actually, your session was truly inspiring. And so, what about start? Like, I will be talking in Malayalam, okay? ഇന്നലത്തെ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പിനെ കുറിച്ചൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു, തേർഡ് ഇയർ ഒക്കെ തൊട്ട്. ഞാനത് ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് അങ്ങനെ കേട്ടത്. അപ്പം അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് സാറിന് എന്താ പറയാനുള്ളത്? യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആയിരിക്കുമോ എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു മോട്ടീവോട് പോകുന്നത്?
തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും. I think the engineers are very creative-minded people. Even when I was studying 54 years ago, I wanted to start up, but I really did not have the backup to do a startup. And you know what I wanted to make was an electric shaver. That was the thing that I thought about when I was in my third year. I'm sure it would have been a successful business, but the environment was not there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, I can hear you.
So you start developing that creativity in you, come up with something unique and something that is not there, and pursue that. And if you cannot do it alone, find a few friends, and together you will have different skills. And one may have marketing skill, one may have engineering skill, one may have a manufacturing skill. So you can come together as a group and you can launch. And today there are many setups, many institutions that encourage startups, and our own college will have a startup lab. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, of course, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll
And I
try my
wish you
best.
all the best. I wish you all
Thank
the
you, sir.
best. Thank you.
Sir, so
Yes, sir. Supplement. Yes, Mikhail. Supplementing to that, I would like to tell that there is an innovation and entrepreneurship development cell in our college, very active. Okay, it is right now headed by Professor Sadiq, as well as we have a student team, student CEO and student CFO, and all those teams. It is guided by Kerala Startup Mission, so you can be part of that. Definitely, if you are interested to have such things, definitely along with your studies, you can take up all those things. Great.
Okay, I will try it too.
Yes. More questions, please.
sir, so may I ask the question?
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. So I am Devika Sujit again, enrolled as a first year student in computer science and engineering this year.
Yes, Devika.
So my question is also relating to startups.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's a fair question to ask, or is it too early to ask about startups? But what do you think is a prerequisite to start a startup, and what do you think? I mean, what is the basic difference between a person who will start a startup and a person who will get employed in a startup?
It's never too early to dream. You can dream young and set your goals. Get your time set so that you must have a definite time scale by which you anticipate, you expect for the startup to materialize. So that's your goal. But and having set up that goal, you really have to find out in what area, what topic you are going to you are going to start the things. So you will find that by researching, because somebody is talking in the background. May I ask not to speak while I'm speaking, or you mute your microphone? Okay, Devika. So as you embark on your studies, you get exposed to many topics, and you will start seeing there are many opportunities. Business is very simple. Business is about finding a need and filling it. If you look at many of the startups, what is behind it? There was a need for that service or that product. So you need to find what is lacking, and then you find a solution for it. So that is business. But there are some that will be successful and some that may not be successful. But also exposing yourself to people who have started new ventures, your seniors, alumni, and your professors, your startup lab, all these will slowly give you that exposure. But the most important thing is the passion and the commitment. Without the passion and commitment, combined with a goal-setting mechanism, you will not reach where you want to reach. So these are a few things I would like to tell you as you start up, and you will find many more things as you go by. Did I answer your question, Devika?
Yes, sir, pretty much. It kind of gave me a hope.
Why? Why you are not hopeful? You are a young person. You must be full of hope, because there's going to be zillion opportunities post-COVID, after the pandemic, and even during the pandemic, the world has opened up for a lot of new opportunities that would have not been there had there not been pandemic. I look at pandemic as a great opportunity and a great accelerator for business. So your generation, though you're going through COVID, is going to be one of the most luckiest generations who will have a lot of new opportunities to think of.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes, I think Devika is quite satisfied by the answer,
Yeah.
and definitely we have, as I said earlier, we have the team to support you with all your dreams and all those things. Don't worry about that. Just bring up with innovations, innovative ideas, creativity. Just cultivate that. We are all there to support you, Devika. Yes, more questions, please.
So can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I
please.
can.
Sir, I am Kannan Vijay from first year civil branch.
Yes. Yes,
Sir,
Kannan.
as you said, sir, sky is not the limit. So if I ask that, how did you assume all the changes in the field and the market which made you get successful in your life? How did you assume that, sir? What was your aspect you are using?
Yeah, the thing is that I never accepted the status quo. I never accepted it, and I was very inquisitive. So when I was on the ship, I started looking at the ship differently. How it can be done differently, how it can be done better, what lacking, and what can be done. So started questioning myself that way every day as I did. Then I realized that so that's why when I became a ship designer, I could come up with a very innovative that was a ship of the future. My design was alive for 20 years, and people were still asking me to build the same design, although I had advanced. So think of the future, 10 years from now, 30 years from now, what will be required? That will be your thought. So when you really have to identify your passion, your goal, what excites you, what is the field where you want to be, then go and pursue that field. That is one thing. Now you're taken up civil engineering. One thing I can tell you, doesn't matter what branch of it you have taken, the whole world is open to you, because you can be a banker, a lawyer, an investor, you can be a social worker, because your engineering education helps you in all those type of things. So just because you did civil engineering, you don't have to self boats and buildings. There is zillion other things that you can do. We apply the engineering that is actually taught by engineers. So the engineering itself gives you a lot of opportunity. Think, I started off as a mechanical engineer. I practiced as a marine engineer. I ended up as a naval architect. And you can see that I did not have any formal education in marine engineering or naval architecture. But today I am recognized as a marine engineer and a naval architect. So I think you really have to identify that and it's only you who can identify that what is exciting you. And once you do that, you set up realistic goals. What would you like to do? And how can you reach that goal? And that is why I recommend the book Psycho-Cybernetics. You read that, it gives you all the guidance, and you pursue that. And I'm sure that you will find that thing, that particular opportunity, that particular opening. So I think that's what I did, and I could come up with so many things.
Thank you, sir. It is quite inspiring that a person like you is telling that an engineer has no limit. Thanks a lot. I got the answer I needed. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, great.
Wish you all the best.
Great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Great question and great to hear from you, Karan. I think he's really happy. Yes, let us now hear for more questions, please.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Joseph. So, sir, very inspiring story. I checked a lot about you on the net. Sir, I want to ask you a very specific question. Like, how did you know it was the right idea that you had? Like, when you wanted to start your company, how did you know it was the right idea? Like, you said you had this electric shaver idea also. So.
Yeah. Well, one thing, all men has to shave. Like food industry, you have to have food every day. You all have to. Of course, nowadays many of you are growing beard, but still, the potential was humongous, and so there is a need. And business, as I said, is to find a need and fill it. And everything was okay except the very fine mesh that protects the cutter was not available at that time in my research. You know, we didn't have Google those days to research where to get it, how to get it. I could put together the electrical motor that is required and the cutters and everything. But you really need to have a razor thin perforated mesh protecting that cutters, at the same time allowing the bristles to go in so that it can be cut off. So the very limited resources, I had to give up that idea. So it was a need, and I'm sure millions of electric shavers are sold every year in the world. So it's a product that has a huge demand. When it came to ships, because I operated the ship for 7 years, and I was the chief engineer when I left, when I was 27 or 28 years old. And I had all the disadvantage and shortcomings of the existence. So it made me thinking, how can I do it better? How can I do differently? What is the need? What would be the need? And based on that, I came up with my design, and it was an instant sale. So that's how I found the product. And I'm sure if you just go and look for what is lacking in the community, what is lacking, and if you can find the best solution for that one, you have a product, and it's all about marketing. That's why I was talking about the communication skill, the people skill, the organizational skill, the financial skills. All these play, and you can develop all these things as you go by as an engineering student. I developed all those things in TKM. I ran a benefit show spending 2,000 rupees and collected 16,000 rupees to start a fund to support needy students while I was a student leader. So you can very well imagine how much exposure I got about how to organize, how to market, how to raise funds, and how to utilize it. All that I learned in TKM. So in addition to the excellent engineering education you get, utilize every moment of your life that you're spending to learn much more that is available at TKM, which is very unique, which is not available everywhere. That is why the alumni community of TKM is a very strong family. So there is a huge support system available to you through the alumni, and it's a very wide, worldwide network of extremely successful people. Two of the top rocket engineers, or three rocket engineers, are from TKM. So you have a very big network of elders. Okay, Joseph?
Yes, sir.
Does that give you some?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. Wish you good luck.
Thank you, sir.
And I see you as a successful engineer and a good businessman.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Who's next?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
My name is Noel Rabusam.
Yes.
Sir, earlier you said that engineers have no limit, and we can, there are many fields and there are many branches that we can go for, right? For our MTech and
yes.
So sir, that kind of like helped me a lot, because when I took mechanical engineering, one of the main reasons was I'm not actually sure where I want to be or what environment I want to work in at the end. So mechanical engineering like offers a lot of scope in robotics, aerospace engineering, rocket engineering, and so on. So at the same time, recently I have a started interest in entering the Indian Foreign Service. So when I talked about it with some of my friends and parents, they asked me, but like, why do you want to enter the Indian Foreign Service after becoming an engineer? Like after studying engineering, you should have gone for some degree course or something of that sort. So I myself am quite, disheartened as if, is it okay to do that, or how I should pursue it? And even now, I'm actually not sure what my final workplace should be. So if you can help me.
Let me share a secret with you. When I graduated, as I mentioned, there were 60,000 unemployed engineers. But I had made sure that I'll not remain unemployed even for one day after I graduate. So one of the things I did was I put in my papers for Indian Foreign Service and Indian Administrative Service and Indian Forest Service. I got special permission from the principal to make the application because I had not graduated when I applied for the examination. And I also put in as a board, as a consulting engineer, the day I graduated, to provide services to insurance companies and banks in surveying boilers and other assets as a surveyor for insurance. I applied to 52 shipping companies to get a job as a trainee marine engineer, and I got 2 job offers. Now, your interest to go to foreign service, there's nothing wrong with it, okay? The question, of course, is to pursue your passion. You know, what does foreign service offer you? The foreign service offer you an opportunity to go around the world and represent your motherland. And at the same time, protecting the interest of all the Indians who travel abroad, who live abroad, and also looking after the interest of our country. So this requires a lot of communication skills. It requires a lot of administrative skills, and of course, it also requires core knowledge in international diplomacy. So if this, you have to research what you're getting into, why you're getting into. May I ask you why you want to get into foreign service? What was the reason you decided that maybe I should get into foreign service?
So as I said, I like diplomacy as such, and I like to communicate. At the same time, so one of the main reasons was I did get inspired by a certain person also, like Shashi Tharoor and so on. So these are some of the reasons why that passion came into me, and it hasn't been too long. It has just been like just before our college started, actually, I got a sudden interest into it. And when I researched a little, I found it very interesting.
I'm sure your education in engineering will benefit even while you are in foreign service. Because a person in the administrative service or foreign service wear many caps during their employment, during their post-employment and things like that. So a basic knowledge of engineering definitely will help you, and you can build up your knowledge on diplomacy and all the other things. So just because you went for mechanical engineering and all that, you should not feel that, oh no, I should only pursue engineering. No, that's no need. I was also a farmer for 10 years, farming 3,000 acres of land and raising a lot of cattle, and turning into a very, well, the most successful farm in the province of Quebec in Canada. Now, look at, I have no formal education in farming. I never left engineering, but the thing is, there's a lot of common sense you learn while you are an engineer, and a lot of things that you can do out of the box as a non-farmer, things like that. So your engineering will help you understand the modern world, because modern world is based on a lot of communication, cyber security, cyber warfare, a lot of modern gadgets, 5G, a lot of things. So as a diplomat or as a government bureaucrat, you having an engineering background as a foundation and building up it on your foundation as engineer to be a diplomat, there is nothing wrong with it. So if it excites you, if that excites you, pursue it, pursue a dream, and see where you reach. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
That was great from Noel, and hope he's really happy to hear that. Meanwhile, I got my connection cut in between, and then I had to rejoin.
Okay.
Okay. Please, more questions.
Yeah, please.
Yes, please. We would like to have more questions.
Does any parents have any questions?
So if any parents have logged in, please feel free. മലയാളത്തിലാണെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാം, ഒരു കുഴപ്പമില്ല. സാറിനോട് വളരെ ഫ്രീ ആയിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കാവുന്നതേ ഉള്ളൂ. കാര്യം ആന്റണി സാർ നമ്മളുടെ 1968 ബാച്ചിലെ അലൂമിനിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ വളരെ കാലമായി കോളേജുമായിട്ട് ഒരു ആത്മബന്ധമുള്ള ഒരാളാണ്. അപ്പം കോളേജിന്റെ എല്ലാ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ചും സാറിന് നല്ലപോലെ അറിയാം. അപ്പം വളരെ വ്യക്തമായിട്ട് ആസ് എ തേർഡ് പേഴ്സൺ കോളേജിന്റെ അതോറിറ്റീസ് പറയുന്നതിനേക്കാളേറെ നല്ല രീതിയിൽ സാറിന് അതിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയാൻ കഴിയും. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഏതെങ്കിലും പേരൻസിന് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഈ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിൽ open ആയിട്ട് ചോദിക്കാം.
Hello.
Yes.
Actually, my name is Sandra.
Yes, Sandra. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Actually, I have a question. When you hire people, you conduct a lot of you might have conducted a lot of interviews.
Yes.
Actually, when you hire a person, when you look at their resume, is there any black spot? As you see a trait that when you see on the resume, you think immediately that no, this person might not be a good fit for such an environment. Like that, is there anything that, is there a disappointing skill that makes you question their ability to work in a resume when you see it?
I find a lot of resumes, people lie. People, yeah, that is one of the biggest problems
Please
Hello?
unmute. Please unmute.
Yeah.
Sorry, please mute yourself. Somebody is making noise. Please mute.
Yeah. So can you hear me, Sandra?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yeah. So one of my biggest challenges is I see beautiful resumes, but when you start interviewing people, you get a completely different picture. Okay. So that is the saddest part that I have seen. Most of the resumes doesn't really bring up the pluses and minuses of people. We find people sometimes
kind of.
Some people are I would say overconfident. People who think they know everything, you know, and even at this age, I don't claim that I know more than 10% of shipping. You know, there is so much to learn. So there are certain traits like that makes you feel that he is not a good team player. Because, you know, today in any company, it's a team that produces the results. It's not an individual. So we are really not looking forward to people who are very self-centered and very egotistic, overconfident, with no experience whatsoever in life, except he has got a piece of paper saying that he's got a degree in engineering. So try not to give that kind of a picture to an interviewer.
So what you mean is a certain aspect of humility is required when doing a job.
Absolutely. The humility is a very good quality. It does not bring you any less. There are a lot of people who think that because some person is humble, that everybody will tread on that person or not. No, it's not that. What I tell everybody, all my engineers, is that they should never be aggressive, but they must be assertive. Okay. Now, one of the weakness I find in new candidates or even people with some years of experience, that they are afraid to take a stand. So they will prepare a very nice report, properly arguing the subject, but when it comes to the conclusion, they don't want to take a stand. Then they start dilly-dallying. They will say this or that, you know. So they're not sure. So if you are sure, you should not be afraid to take a stand on the point that you believe is the right thing. It may be wrong, that's okay. But don't be halfway through. After having produced a very nice report, don't conclude it indecisive. You know, it is of no use to someone who's getting it. And there is a body language that we have to convey when we are meeting an employer, a superior, a client. That is very important, where you have to sort of show confidence, and the body language will convey that you understand the subject and you have something to tell that is of value.
So you conclusively mean to say that self-confidence takes you a long way and overconfidence puts you down.
Absolutely. You put it very well. Absolutely. Yes.
I have one more question. Do you please mind answering that also? So, about personal connections with people. You might have a lot of people influencing your life. How you make how we make connections to people is it going to affect the way we have when we start working? Is it going to affect our life? Is it going to help us to form good connections with influencing people?
Today, with the availability of communication, it's very easy to get into groups. There are many groups that you can get into. For example, there is something called LinkedIn, where you can get into groups which contains very experienced and knowledgeable people in your field. You can select that one. You have WhatsApp groups. You have alumni group. Alumni is probably your single biggest source of connections. So there are many ways, and also by participating in many of the activities, you get exposed to a lot of people, and be bold, try to approach them and make connections with them. And in some you may not succeed, but after all, you don't want to succeed in everything that every person you contact. You only need one or two person to guide you properly in whatever you are seeking. So that is very, very easy these days. It's not very difficult. There is a saying, any person is only 7 persons away. By the time you have gone to 7 person, you can reach up to anyone in this world. Okay? So someone will know who someone, that way you will get to the right person.
So, okay, I'm sorry, I'm taking a lot of time, but I have just one more a personal question, if you can answer that.
Yes, please.
So, in this world now, everything is digital. Even communication is digital.
Yes.
From a lot of kids my age, I'm actually very bad at keeping up with chats and friendship, like on online and all. Do you prefer meeting face to face, or does this WhatsApp chat actually help nurture like a relationship with a group of friends? Seeing face to face.
I will being an older person from a different generation. I will definitely encourage personal contact and personal relationships and personal communication in person, what I meant. Of course, during this pandemic time, the digital communication like this, WhatsApp or Zoom or whatever it is, have become very useful in keeping in touch with people. But definitely, personal interaction is preferred by me, and I think it's preferred by many people. So the digital communication isolates you into your own world, and I think person of a different generation, for me, that it is difficult to accept.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I really benefited from all your answers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, I wish you all the best at TKM. Enjoy yourself. This is the fun place. I enjoyed every day in my college days. I cannot imagine a day I have not enjoyed. And we have formed a club called 60 Plus Club 10 years ago. After 45 years of separation, we came together, and we have 400 members now. I am one of the founding members of the club, and I run a Google group and a website. It is called TKM60plus.org. And we think that we are first year students when we meet. The day we first met 54 years ago, So make friendship and enjoy and utilize every moment that you are in TKM, because TKM is one unique organization, educational institution, I can say. I may be a little biased, but I've seen many of my friends who graduated from so many different institutions, but they don't have the kind of friendship that lasted over half a century, So make the best out of it.
Thank you so much, sir. This is very useful for me. It was very
Yes, yes, that was great from you, Sandra. For a second, we would like to have to see you. If you don't mind, if you can just unmute the video, because after a lot of interaction, we are not able to see you. Just for a second.
That's right.
Sir, actually, my camera is a little groggy. Even if
Oh.
I on it, it might not be clear, but I'll start it.
Yeah, please.
Okay,
My
great,
camera is a
great,
little dark,
great to see you, Sandra.
Oh, yeah, you are very visible, and it's nice to put a face behind a name. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Have a great 4 years of time in TKMCE. All the best.
Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
let's move to the next question, please. Yes.
So can I ask one more question? Is it okay?
Yeah, you can ask
Please.
any number of questions, Sandra.
Sir, I'm Devika.
Devika.
Yes, Devika.
Sir, it's regarding internships.
Yeah.
Actually, interns do contribute a lot to the resume and our professional life in terms of experience, right?
Yes.
So exactly how do we choose whether this is the right intern or not for us? Like, how do you do? According to me, what I aspire for is maybe a little more socially interactive platform. I don't know if it's right to say something like BuzzFeed India, or which is a connection with such social media platforms and is pretty very actively doing some sort of activity that is socially committed.
You will have to start doing a lot of research, Devika. You will have to find which companies provide that kind of activity, and this you find out through your friends or friends' friends or their friends. So it is a process of research. And you know, when I wanted to get into shipbuilding and ship design from ship operation, I wrote to nearly 100 companies defining what my dreams are, what I would like. In return, what I was willing to offer. When I was making this application, I was a second engineer, which is the number 2 position on a ship. But I offered to work as a 5th engineer. That is the junior most engineer. And I said, in return to you providing me an opportunity to work in a shipyard, looking after a ship under construction, I am prepared to work as the lowest rung of the ladder. And I found out that this company that I am today is now, I've been with this company since 1972. That is, that you can imagine, that is a lot of years, a lot of time ago. And I wrote that one, and this company called me and offered me a position as a 3rd engineer and told me, we have a ship under construction in Japan. We would like to give you a position as a 3rd engineer, although I was a 2nd engineer and I only asked for a 5th engineer. And that gave me that opportunity. And that gave me that introduction to an 80-year-old company, which is benchmark in the industry and which was run by a legend in ship design called George. So you understand, how do you reach? So you identify what you want to reach, then you research are offering, then you match yourself to that, what they are doing, and I'm sure they would be actually excited to give you an opportunity to present yourself. So you know, you can do that today, you know, through research.
Thank you, sir.
Did I? Yeah. Yes. Did I answer you?
Yes, you did. Sir, one more question. Actually gave out your story. Why did you exactly prefer being on lowest on the ladder? Like, why didn't you aspire
Because
for higher? Like,
that was what I could offer to that company, because I am going to spend that company's time learning myself. I'm benefiting. See, I may not be fit for that super automated ship as a second engineer. So I offered that to show my sincerity to learn and my gratitude for the opportunity they are giving. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That was a great answer. And let me tell you, all my students, that our dear Andre Prince sir is speaking from Bahamas, and at this point of time it is midnight.
Okay, that's
Hello?
okay.
Can can all to all my students, you should understand the pain taken by our dear Anthony Prince sir. He's from there at midnight. So please, if you have one or two questions, so that we can wind up the session, because we should not want to trouble you, sir, too much.
No, that's fine. I mean, I had a zillion questions when I joined the engineering college, but it was difficult to get answers at that time. It hadn't actually developed to this level. But today there are 30,000 alumni of all over the world. The students joining will greatly benefit by that amount of students and professors and teachers and facilities. And go ahead, if anybody has any parents, anybody has any more questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Sir, am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, I'm audible. Who's speaking?
So my name is Neerja. I'm first year computer science student. So I just had one question for you. Like when you are perceiving your job, like your career going in a good manner, what checks and balances did you use to make sure that you are not committing a mistake in your career, like taking up a project or something like that? What checks and balances did you do to make sure that you're not making a mistake while moving forward?
I think identifying your goal again is the best tool to make sure that you have not made any mistakes in choosing your career. In my case, it was not very difficult, because you join a ship as a junior engineer, as a trainee engineer, then you become a fifth engineer, then you become a fourth engineer, you become a third engineer, you become a second engineer, you become a chief engineer. Then your future is as a technical manager in the office. And your career more or less ends there. Okay? But what I did was that when I was a junior engineer, I learned everything a fifth engineer was doing. So when there was a need for a fifth engineer, there was no two question who should be the fifth engineer, because I was the fifth engineer. But while I was the fifth engineer, I was learning all what a fourth engineer was doing. So when there was a need for a fourth engineer, then I was the fourth engineer. So all through my career, by properly planning, properly setting my realistic goal, that I put that I need 2 years experience to write my exam for second engineer. I need another 2 years experience to write my chief engineer's exam. And I calculated all those things and I planned. I put the waypoints. When I said, when I become a chief engineer, I'll get married, because I can carry my wife with me on the ship. Okay. Until then, I did not get married, although many people asked me that I should get married. But once I got married and I took my wife on the ship and we sailed for 6 months, I realized that in order for me to have a family and to be with my kids and also for my career advance, I should take up a shore job. And that's how I ended up as a surveyor in a shipyard, working for this company. And that was and then I became the president of the company when I was 42 years old. Okay. So that's how you plan. There was, and then I replaced the founder of this company while he was alive, becoming the global president of the company. you know. So,
Yes.
so you plan your career and you will find a way, you know, where you want to reach. That is how you set your goals. And I had a lot of opportunities. I had a lot of offers in my life to take up positions which were paying me very well with bigger opportunities. But I was focused because I wanted to own the company one day, and I wanted to bring the knowledge to India. So I was so far thinking. So today I own the company. Not only I own the company, I could bring the 80-year legacy of the company, the data and the legacy experience to India, and to give it to 100 young people when I set up the design company in India in 2007, when India did not have ship design capability. The person I employed 17 years ago, who was a first rank holder from Cochin University Naval Architecture Department, he became my general manager 5 years ago.
Okay.
And he's probably the youngest general manager of a global design, chip design company.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So just one more question from my part. Like, according to your concept, what makes a person a better engineer? Or like, what do you think, what do you like being an engineer? Or what makes a person the best engineer, according to your concept?
I think what makes an engineer is his sound background of first principles of engineering. You know, if you understand the foundation of engineering, the basics of engineering, and you have a sound knowledge, that makes you a better engineer than anyone else. But when your foundation is so